Hello, welcome back to the Bar Gym Reviews. Today, we're going to be breaking down cable attachments from classics to new school innovations. Whether you're building a brand new gym or you're just upgrading your arsenal, I'm going to walk you through all the cable attachments that I own and show you which ones that I really like, really enjoy, or maybe ones that I regret buying. So make sure you stick around and just remember, subscribe to the Bar Gym Reviews because this video actually came about through a poll. So make sure you subscribe so you can vote on my next poll. Stick around though for the end. I got a wish list coming up as well that my wife will figure out, I'm sure, once I post this, of my wish list items of things that I'm looking to purchase that I'm going to review. So a little bit of a dual video today, cable attachments, wish list of attachments. So let's go ahead and jump in. All right, so we're going to start strong with the Rogue Lat Pulldown Bar. So if you have a cable machine, chances are you have a lat pull down, or at least you want to invest in one. So this attachment is a back day classic, and it targets that wide grip, and it's great for your lats, great for your upper back, and you can, again, use the wide, kind of medium, and close grips here. So it's solid for that vertical pulling strength, but it's not perfect. So let's go through the pros. Let's go through the cons here. So it has great width here, so you're going to be able to get super wide. I don't think anybody's going to be too big for it. It's good for row variations as well. And honestly, it's the build quality that overall feels the best when it comes to this. Cons, you're at a fixed grip, right? You have less options. There's no rotating handles. You're either overhand, so you're either pronated or supinated when it comes to this lat bar. And then another thing is it kind of takes up a lot of space. It's got quite the wingspan. I can't remember how many inches exactly, but I want to say it's probably around like in the 40s. I'll throw it up on screen for you guys. But again, it's pretty long. So if you are limited on space, especially storage space, you don't have a place for this, make sure you kind of think about how you're going to store that. For me, I use it on my Rogue Rhino trainer. And luckily for me with that, it comes with a hook that it just is always stored up there. So it is up and out of the way. So a great storage solution from Rogue there. But overall, I would purchase this myself again, just because of the quality itself. And I just don't think, if you're looking at traditional lat bars, I just don't think there's anything that's going to be better than the Rogue Lat Pulldown Bar. All right, so next I'm going to kind of group two rep products together. So I'm going to have the multi-curl bar. I'm also going to have their straight bar. This is not part of the Pro Series. It's kind of their original series. It came in a bundle package together. So both attachments, they work great. Rep Fitness has pretty great quality. Everything seems pretty balanced. So the curl bar, it has angle grips here. Provides pretty constant tension for those cable movements. I love my curls on there, reverse curls, drag curls. And again, it's not a super heavy attachment, but it is beefy enough for me. But it's great for isolating my biceps without, kind of losing that accommodating resistance. And then the straight handle, I do like the straight handle. It's kind of that all-around bar. I wish that there was more knurling. It looks like Rep has actually updated this since then, because there's only like kind of the finger placement knurling. On both of these, the knurling's pretty passive. Nothing to kind of write home about, but they work great. So neither are flawless. The straight bar can be tough on your wrist, but you could just use the curl bar. They do come separately. They're in that $50 to $60 each price range. I got them in a bundle, so they were a little bit less. So pros here: rep quality, feels solid, feels balanced. It's pretty friendly for the multi-grip curl bar. It's pretty, forgiving on the wrists. So I would say it's pretty great for high volume or even heavy loads. And then the straight bar is pretty versatile. It's great to use for vertical pulling, but also if you really want to work on getting that true supination to do curls, you can, especially if your wrists are pretty great. Some cons though, yeah, the ergonomic design is not great on this. I wish there was more knurling. A straight bar is great for some, but not for all. The curl bar is pretty versatile as well, but I just wish it was a little bit longer. And maybe if you had some wrist issues, maybe you want this to be a little bit more deeper so it's closer to a neutral grip. So overall, pretty great though. I think it's a great value, great durability, um, and the Rep brand is something that you can trust. So for me, there's no frills. Um, it's a great attachment. It's not perfect probably, but they're both great attachments you can add to your arsenal that can add a lot to your workout. All right, so next is going to be tricep rope. So both dual and single in my gym. I'll be honest with you, I think this one is from Rep, and then this one is, I think, just an Amazon buy. So tricep ropes are great. They're versatile attachments that aren't just from tricep ropes, right? You can, go ahead and do curls with those, face pulls. They're a staple to the gym, right? And this should be something that you absolutely buy. If you want to just buy the dual one, that's fine. That's probably overkill to have a single because you could honestly just move this down and make it a really long single. But I think it's an absolute staple for you to have. You can hit hammer curls, you can hit press downs, overhead extensions, face pulls. The list goes on and on and on, right? So the tricep grips, they're great. The quality on these are just okay. The grip, it's a little bit slippery, but at the end we got the stop. So again, there's some trade-offs there, but also I just don't think you can have a cable system, especially if it's like a functional trainer or a single stack cable system. You can't have it without having a tricep rope, whether it's the dual or the single, right? For my money, I'm just going to go with the dual one. There's plenty of great options when it comes to like Amazon or Rep. If you're spending more than $40 or $50 on this, then you're probably getting ripped off just a little bit for a traditional tricep rope. So again, pros, extremely versatile. They can be great for even rehab and joints and everything else because we're not, locked into a position with like, a metal bar. But just remember, look at the reviews when you're going through these. Some of them do have some quality that varies a little bit. So make sure you're looking at reviews. Look at those star ratings. Make sure they have a lot of customer reviews as well. If you're going to get a single rope by itself, you're limiting how versatile this can be. I would obviously suggest the dual rope. And then the vertical overall, it's a great for the setup. It's something I feel like everyone with a cable machine should have some form of a tricep rope. All right, so next is going to be the Rogue 2R 2D. Now, this is innovation. It's innovation that's done right, in my opinion. This is a substantial upgrade when it comes to the tricep rope. We have aluminum pulleys, we got a cable, we got knurling, we got rotating handles. Kind of has everything that you want and more, right? So we got, with all of that being said, the build is elite. It's heavy. It's solid. The rotation on the aluminum pulley is buttery smooth, which I really enjoy. It is not cheap though, right? So if you want to see a deeper dive on this, please check out the playlist of equipment reviews. I got a deep dive on this if you want a little bit more, but let's break down the pros and the cons. The pros being build quality, it's smooth. It definitely seems to have reduced a little bit of joint pain and joint strain for me. And it's excellent for tricep exercises and even bicep exercises. It is commercial quality when it comes to Rogue, right? This is one of those pieces that you can tell they spared no expense, and it's commercial quality. You're not most gyms aren't even going to have this because it's built so well. On the con side, though, it's too expensive for most, right? So if you are not a gym enthusiast or maybe a person that uses this kind of attachment a lot, it's not gonna be worth it. It's $165. It's a little bit heavier than most attachments too. So if you're the casual user, this just is probably overkill for you. Overall, the verdict for me is if you train this often, and you just want a significant upgrade over your traditional tricep rope, then the Rogue TR2D is worth it for you. All right, so next we're going to go over D handles. Now, for me, I have the Rep D handles, the knurled version. I got it with my Rep Arcadia. And honestly, this is probably the most used cable attachment that I have. It's versatile, right? single arm, both arms. I personally love them for cable flies, for those chest flies, get that nice squeeze. The handle itself has got knurling on it that's pretty grippy. It's not over aggressive, and it's metal. They do have a urethane option. I would completely skip that. I don't even know why they have that in their lineup anymore. Um, it 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 is not it. But the knurled version is there also is a Pro Series. I think that one's a little overkill. So design is very simple, right? But it works so well. It's something that you need to have in your gym. You need to have D handles. I will definitely say that the Rep D handles are a great product. There's a lot of pros here, not too many cons. Pros versatile, right? You can do chest flies, you can do curls, you can do a single tricep push down. The list goes on and on for this, right? So D handles an absolute must in your gym. A pair of these runs you about $45 to $50, which is not too bad for the quality that you're getting. I think they're great. Okay, the only thing that I would over time maybe think about is if this is going to fray at all. But the rounded edges make me think it's going to last for a very long time. So overall, I think this is an absolute must. I think the Rep D handles are a great addition to any home gym. All right, so next I'm going to go over the Rep Sport handle attachment. When I said that I was going to review everything that I have in my gym as far as cable attachments go, I wasn't going to lie. So I'm surprised this isn't a little bit dirtier than it is. I had to dust it off just a little bit. I don't really use this at all. Now, the ideal, I suppose, is sports handle. So maybe you're working on some rotational things, whether that's a golf swing, maybe a baseball swing. I have used it and tried to use it for like a tricep push down kind of thing with one arm. Um, I don't really use it. So for me, this one collects dust. I don't think it's worth it. If I'm being fully transparent, I bought it in a bundled package that Rep offered at the time. And essentially, I got this for like a few dollars since everything was bundled together. Everything I wanted was in that package, except for this was kind of an extra. And it was kind of like, I almost threw it in for free. I'm literally talking $2 or $3 maybe this cost me. So all in all, not a complete buyer's remorse. I do look to maybe get this involved a little bit more. But for me, quality wise, the grip, it's what do I want to say? It's almost foam, not foam, but like leather, but kind of squishy, but really not giving in any way. I really wish this kind of rotated at the top, and it doesn't. Feel like that would maybe add a little bit to this piece of equipment. Overall, for me, I wouldn't waste my money on this personally. But if you specifically have something, again, I think this would be great for like wood chops or something that works with that rotational stuff. That's just not in my training right now. So it'll probably remain collecting dust on the floor of my gym. All right, so next I'm going to go over the Rogue Triangle Grip. Now, this is a great, compact, overbuilt, heavy-duty cable attachment that's designed for some serious pulling. I love it for vertical pulling, for horizontal pulling. I use this both on my Rogue Rhino trainer. I use it with the foot plate. Love doing some cable rows there, but I also love vertical pulling with it and doing some kind of on my Lat Pulldown. It challenges your grip a little bit. There is a monster version as well, but it's great quality here. I love the knurling. It's that Ohio knurling again, kind of sticky. It's a little less sticky than the stainless steel lap bar that I have, just because probably the powder coat. But again, heavy duty. It's durable. I love it for the rows. I love it for the pull downs. And then again, a little bit of forearm maybe, probably if you buy the monster one. The only cons really here are going to be kind of a fixed angle, so there's not really flexibility to rotate your wrist anywhere. Obviously, it's pretty much just a pulling movement only. I have not used it on a landmine per se, but I feel like it would settle in there just okay, but probably not ideal. Overall, though, it's a great tool. It's a little bit of a specialty tool, but also the quality's great. And if you love triangle grip, especially rows, you can't get any better than this. All right, so last but not least is going to be the Rep ankle cuffs here. So ankle cuffs, pretty simple design. Quality overall, overall is pretty great. The padding works pretty well. It does exactly as advertised. You can use this kind of for some kickbacks. I've used it for some adduction, abduction with the hips. I've also used it for some lateral raises, which I feel like does take a little bit of that grip factor out. I'm not quite comfortable with it yet, but overall, this could be a pretty inexpensive and versatile piece of equipment for you. If your wife is looking to build the glutes, then and you want to do kickbacks, then there you go. Or gentlemen, if you also want to grow your glutes, you could do the same. But it is a pretty decent attachment. I will say, using it with my wife, and I've had some other people train in my gym, it does kind of suck to get in and out of the cable machine itself and to share it with other people. So that's one thing to kind of think about. I do have 2 sets overall, so that does help a little bit. So overall, I think it's a worthy purchase, especially for the price point we're sitting at. I believe it's still under $30. So I think you should go out and get a cup if that's something that you would implement in your training. All right, so overall, I'm very pleased with the attachments that I have in my gym. Some obviously I utilize a little bit more than others, but here's 3 potential purchases in my future. As long as my wife doesn't hear about it. So first things first, always out there in the home gym community, mag grips, right? First of all, do I get the mag grips? Do I get the knockoffs, right? So seems like I really like the paddle kind of design. And then again, I don't know. Do I want supinated grip? Do I want neutral grip? Right now, for me, I don't really have a neutral grip, so I'd probably do something around neutral grip or maybe some supination. I just want to see what that paddle feels like when it comes to, engaging my lats for vertical pulling. So I want to test them. Are they really better than a lat bar? And also, maybe I do a comparison video of their knockoffs, right? So, make sure you guys comment if you want to see that. Another thing is going to be the track sport handles. Those are D handles. I love the D handles that I have. However, these ones kind of rotate and can adjust to the curvature of what you are, lifting. So I really want to try those. I've seen them kind of bouncing around. They're definitely something that is maybe, I don't know, a trendy thing that is going to die out. So I really want to, see, is it better comfort? Can it work longevity wise? Is it better than a traditional D handle, or is it just some pricey trend? And is it really worth that $120 price tag, right? Lastly, I've always stayed away from the Prime Fitness handles, only because they were always green. But now they have them in black, which would kind of match my aesthetics a little bit more. And again, they have those paddle handles, and they rotate. So I really want to look at the Prime, like the RO28s, or T8s, I should say. I think they're really hyped. Everybody hypes them up, but I think they're going to be great for pulling movements. Again, the paddle, I really want to see, how that feels in my hand and how much more it engages my back muscles and kind of get rid of that grip when it comes to, the movement. So are they really the best in the industry? I don't know. Again, maybe I can find some budget versions of those as well and try them out. So, let me know in the comments what you think. Which one should I purchase first? Because let's be honest, I'm probably going to do all 3 eventually, right? That's going to wrap things up for the full breakdown for my cable attachments that I actually use, and then a few that are kind of on my radar. So if you're building a cable setup, hopefully this helps you figure out which handles are kind of worth it, which one you should grab first maybe, and maybe ones that you're going to skip or maybe put off, right? So let me know, which attachments are your go-to? Drop them in the comments and let me know, right? The wish list, review that for me. Which one should I buy first, right? So if this helped you out, please smash the like button. Please subscribe. Make sure you tap that notification bell so you don't miss any future reviews, walkthroughs, or any kind of things that I can find or compare. So if you like what we're doing here, again, like, comment, subscribe, and we'll see you guys next time.